Sometimes new isn't always better. More Americans are now starting to buy used cars over new cars, and it's not just because of the price, but many times because of the features. With car technology constantly changing, some find the bells and whistles just too much and too distracting. For example, having multiple alert sensors as you're driving, engines shutting off when the car is stopped, and smaller transmissions. Now, some of the most sought after used car models range from the Ford Mustang, the Subaru Outback, to the Toyota Sequoia and Ford F-150. And it comes as car brands are steering their way through consumers' different demands amid an ever-changing economy and, of course, stubborn inflation. So let's bring in an expert, Lauren Fix, founder of The Car Coach. Lauren, it's so great to see you. First of all, have you noticed this preference kind of starting to shift to used versus new cars?
Absolutely. When you look at the price of a new vehicle and you know that the moment you sign the bottom line and you drive off the lot, suddenly the value of that vehicle has dropped dramatically and you don't gain that. That's called depreciation. And if you own the car for 3 years, that's when people trade it in off a lease. And this is where the value is for the average person who might want a minivan with all the safety features, but not all the bells and whistles, not all the nannies. And this is one of the things that people are starting to look at, that it makes sense. And your insurance rates are lower, which people like, because of insurance on a used vehicle is going to be much less than that of a new vehicle, which is dramatically higher, about 40% across the board.
Yeah, and insurance has just gone up, period, too. I mean, I know here in Chicago, with all the car thefts and whatnot. What is the biggest factor, do you think, based on what you're seeing? I mean, is it the price? Is it the bells and whistles? Is it kind of a combo of all of it?
I think part of it is what you get for your money. If somebody leased a loaded Mercedes Benz with all the goodies, they'll be well over $100,000. But at the end of that lease, they're going to go to the next vehicle, which leaves a 3-year-old Mercedes Benz, for example, could be anything, that's got all the bells and whistles at a fraction of the price. So that's where people are seeing the best value. And it's always been the best value to buy a certified pre-owned. And I highly suggest getting from that brand. If you're looking at a Ford, go to a Ford dealer. If you're looking for a Hyundai, go to a Hyundai dealer. Same thing with any of the brands, because you're going to get all the recalls, technical service bulletins, all taken care of. And many times, especially higher expensive brands like Ferraris and Porsches, they'll transfer the warranty, give you an additional 3 years plus maintenance. Some brands do, some don't, but it's certainly a negotiating tool versus buying a Ford at a Honda dealership. They're just going to say you get a 90-day warranty and thanks for buying from us.
All right. So Lauren, I have a question for you. So my 78-year-old uncle, who I hope is watching, recently got a new car. I don't think he uses any of the new technology. The push to start is enough for him. But when we were talking about this in our meeting, people in their 20s and 30s are saying there are so many bells and whistles now. Do you think automakers will take notice and maybe stop trying to continually advance this technology?
Well, I think they're constantly advancing the technology, whether it's an EV, a hybrid, or a regular gasoline-powered vehicle. And it's funny, like this perpendicular park and parallel park. First off, you should know how to do that. That should be pretty simple. But people love to show their friends, check this out, it's smart park. I don't have to, I can use my key fob and pull it out of a parking spot. But how many times do they actually do that? Maybe once or twice over the life of the vehicle. So you're paying for that technology, even though you're rarely using it, or you might not use it at all. Especially like my mother-in-law is another one. She's got a Lincoln and she doesn't use 3/4 of it. She doesn't even use the Bluetooth. She tries to put the phone in her ear and I'm like, you can't really do that. It's unsafe. But the whole idea is that this technology is there supposed to make it safer. But I think a lot of people just find it to be more frustrating, especially that start-stop technology, which I am not a fan of. I know it saves about a tablespoon of fuel, but the truth is most people don't like it. But the car manufacturers have to do it in order to meet the corporate average fuel economy. So they're caught in a catch-22.
They are caught in a catch-22. Lauren, my last question for you. Do you think we will at any point maybe start to go backwards? Do you think that we'll start seeing new cars that more closely resemble their predecessors?
Highly unlikely, I'm sorry to say. It's all about safety. There's a 2026, they're calling it the kill switch bills from the infrastructure bill from 2021. And that's going to mandate that they listen in your car, track your eyes, make sure that you're not driving while under the influence. And that just means more safety, more nanny features, speed limiters on cars. All of that is software. All of that is mechanical parts as well. computer processors, and that means the price of vehicles are going to get more expensive, and people are going to start looking at older cars thinking, you know what, I'm going to keep the car I have. I mean, personally, I keep my cars for like 10 years, and then I make a decision based on condition. But people are starting to do that, and you're noticing that a very strong used car market. So make sure to shop around and get what you want. And of course, check for a certified pre-owned if you can get one.
Yeah, because that technology is not going anywhere. Founder of the Car Coach, Lauren
No.
Fix. Thank you so much.
Have you ever thought, why in the world is my wireless bill so darn high? What are we paying all this money for? Speed, coverage, data, access to 5G, unlimited talk and text, mobile hotspots? We are partnering with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers all of these features for as low as $15 per month. They're reimagining the wireless shopping experience and made it easy and online. No stores, no salespeople, just huge direct-to-you savings. Why should you pay more when you have access to premium wireless? Mint Mobile runs on the nation's largest 5G network. Whether you use your phone to watch YouTube, listen to podcasts, or play games, you get the same speed and performance as the big guys while connecting to Mint's network. How hard is it to switch your service? Big Wireless wants you to think it's hard, but switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. And if your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. Just go to trymintmobile.com/LaurenFix, also linked in the description down below, to get premium wireless for $15 a month.